All right, new hit music. Fewer commercials, 103.3 Amp Radio. We got a legend in the building, man. Kung Fu Luke.
Hey,
what's up, man? Laidback Luke. EDM is not my bread and butter of a genre, but I understand the significance of having you here. So welcome, dude.
Oh,
Thanks for coming through.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you laying back like that.
I'm chilling, dog. It's Friday, man.
Keeping in the theme.
Yeah. Right what stage is Laidback Luke at right now in his career? I'm curious because you've done so much, dude. So I'm kind of curious what stage you're in right now.
Well, I'm entering a new stage in my career, actually. I'm about to speak at Harvard here, for instance, which is kind of nerve-wracking for me. You know, I'm quite good at playing music, but to speak in front of people and then a bunch of wise people that are there that are very curious about, you know, I've been DJing for over 2 decades now, so I've a bunch of experience to share, and that's where I'm at the moment. And this is what I do with my weekly vlogs as well on YouTube. Yeah, just educate the new generation that's coming up right now. And
do you, I mean, because some DJs feel like they owe that to the DJ community. Do you feel like you want to or you have to?
A bit of both, actually. I've always been like the mentor type. So I started mentoring my first talents in like 2004, and a lot of like the professional names you know right now came from my mentoring. So
you call them students, right? Yeah, you actually like call them students.
Yeah. Fun fact: I have a bunch of like Latin American students that often call me teacher as well. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. And going back, because you're here to have a Q&A at Harvard, are you more nervous because you play for these crazy festivals that have an insane amount of people? Do you get more nervous in front of smaller crowds or bigger crowds?
Good question.
Yeah.
Well, I was never the talking kind, so even for me to be here on radio and speak like this is all due to my vlogs and my podcast that I only developed for the last 5 years. I was always horrible at like how do you call that again when you're in front of your class and you need to do
you're someone in the room help or something.
Presenting.
Huh? Presenting. You have like
it's like a school presentation. I always sucked at that, and so my career kind of like came to this stage right now where I'm actually good at that, and it's incredible. And when it comes to DJing, I don't really care if it's a 50,000 crowd or a 5 people crowd. Like it would be fun to like have a little party over here. As long as the people love what they're hearing and they're really into it, I'm all good.
Yeah, man. And you have one kid?
I have 3
children. Kids. Yeah. 2 or 3?
3.
3. So where are they at now? How are you planning your schedule around the kids? Obviously you probably travel. Do you travel more or less? Since you've had them?
No. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. So my oldest son is 17 right now. So he doesn't know better than Dad is always here for a couple of days and then he flies out. And so I have 2 sons in the Netherlands and then 1 daughter in New York. So my schedule is all over the place. And yeah, you were right. I plan every month. I plan the daddy days in and I'll just fly around them.
What's a daddy day? So break down a daddy day.
Yeah, so I actually just like 2 weeks ago made a vlog about it, like how I'm a dedicated dad, and in there you'll see me going to amusement parks or like indoor playgrounds with my children, and whenever I'm there I really try and just utilize and maximize the time I have with them.
We have Laidback Luke in the building.
So yeah, we were just recording for like a half an hour, and well, we weren't recording actually, so our man JD is now like kicking himself in the face.
I'm so sorry, dude. I'm like, this legendary DJ is here, and I don't even have your mic on.
Let's just do the whole thing again and pretend nothing happened.
Yeah, okay. So listen, let's just promote what you have out right now, and then if I can retrace my steps, then we'll go back to the other questions I asked. What are you working on now as far as your music?
Yeah, so we just had a really good conversation about how I'm mentoring people, and I'm in Boston today do a Q&A at Harvard, which I'm very nervous about. And it seems that my career has come to that, where I'm like mentoring people and sharing my knowledge with people. And this ties nicely into the Mixmash Family album, which just came out, which is basically my signees and myself making tracks together. It's like an album full of collaborations, which we did at Amsterdam Dance Event recently. And it's just all these talents like making music together, and the Mixmash Family album is a result of that.
Yeah.
There we go with the shameless plug.
There it is, shameless plug. Hey, and I don't think you're in the, I think you're in the mentoring state for sure, but with the way music is right now and how artists are actually looking to DJs to collaborate, are you interested? I mean, your catalog is so thorough. You've collaborated with a ton of people. You've collaborated with a million DJs, but you know, artists are starting to do that, like Selena Gomez. People are attaching, you know, like the Zed and like all these different collabs. Are you working with anybody kind of in that field that has maybe reached out to you?
No, I wish. I mean, it would be great.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm very much open. The thing is, there's obviously in radio, you know, as well, there's a whole political game when it comes to record labels and that sort of thing. So, you know, my Mixmash Records label is just a small and independent label, and I would love to have the hookup with an Interscope and do something big for sure.
Well, I know Justin Bieber, so if you like want me to reach out or something like that, like I can make that happen.
Well, yeah, if you believe that'll work. Here we go.
What are some things, this is kind of random, what are some things that you will get cranky if you don't have throughout the day? Is like coffee one of them? Is there like you have to have a certain amount of dad time where you got to call the kids, you know, like your happy time? Like what do you get cranky if you don't have?
My happy time is my Starbucks chai tea latte. And if I don't get those, so my girlfriend often makes fun of me. It's like when I take a sip, it's like as if I see rainbows. I swear I had a chai tea latte in Boston when I touched down, and I swear it was like 90 degrees out here.
Not anymore, dog. it ain't gonna be 90 for a while. I do want to retrace a step. We'll obviously edit the interview. To you being nervous in front of like smaller crowds or talking in front of smaller crowds.
Yeah.
Like I just find that really interesting because I was thinking about it on the way here. It kind of was like skydiving to me because, you know, skydiving, you're so high up, you don't really realize how high up. And I think when you're DJing and you're DJing for that many people, I don't know if you get as nervous like that. You know what I mean? Whereas if you're playing for a smaller amount of people, it's a smaller room, dog. Like they gonna find out. You know?
Yeah, so for me it's a different story. So I'm just gonna trace it back to me sucking at school presentations.
Well, school obviously doesn't mean shit now because you're way richer than anybody who was in school.
So obviously talking to a radio guy like yourself, talking wasn't a big talent of mine. Like coming across on the mic or in front of a crowd, like speaking, like I'm gonna do at Harvard, was very tough for me. And when it comes to DJing, it's a whole different story. DJing, you know, I've been doing 150 shows worldwide for at least over 15 years now. I've been a professional DJ for over 2 decades, so that sort of thing, that's fine. But actually sitting here, having a conversation with you is even more nerve-wracking for me.
You're nervous talking to me right now? Can we get that on? Can we get that on?
Like I sat in the studio and he started cracking sarcastic jokes, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Are you sarcastic? Like, is that your humor?
Yeah, we have that in the Netherlands for sure.
I got you. So what's I'm curious what's left for you. You know, like what is it you want to accomplish? Not just maybe in music, because maybe in life. You know, because I saw an Instagram post that you're going to be having a piece coming out. Kind of the correlation between kung fu and DJing. So I'm kind of curious, you know, what gives, you know, Laidback Luke that extra juice?
Yeah, so I have a couple of things. I keep on saying this everywhere in interviews. I want a Chainsmokers, like just one. Just
what do you mean?
A Chainsmokers hit.
Oh,
like a global, worldwide, big, fat, juicy Chainsmokers hit. So like, someone needs to sign me to Sony, to Universal or something, you know, let's make this happen.
That's so wild to me, dude. You don't need any of that. Your catalog is so thorough.
Yeah, no, it is, but it would be amazing to you know, have the 4 times the amount of followers I have now, or like, you know, even chain smoking without actually smoking. But
why don't you do something with the Chainsmokers?
I know, I know the guys really well, actually.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to Kung Fu, so I do think, like, as a DJ, you have an expiry date. Like, you know, surely there's not going to be DJs DJing over 60 years old, you know. And within Kung Fu, we have our grandmasters that are teaching and doing Kung Fu up until their 90s. So one of my big dreams is to start a chain of Kung Fu schools somewhere, and you know, go and do that more.
That's just so fascinating, man. Because I mean, I would have just never imagined you doing that. That's something different.
Yeah, that's my second life for sure.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for coming through. You have the Q&A at Harvard. We don't want Malia Obama and everybody upset that you're there late
Right.
now that she's over there. Have you seen the blog post about Malia recently?
No,
she's like out making out with dudes being 18 and stuff. It's wild.
Wow, college life or university life.
That's that university life, man.
Yep, there you go.
Just go on TMZ. Laidback Luke, thank you so much, man. Plug anything else, man, that you got going on. Single.
Yeah, so make sure to check out my weekly vlogs. It's on YouTube, Laidback Luke, and yeah, it's all what you need to know about DJs and tour life.
There it is, Laidback Luke, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.